Okay, shalom, shalom, first and foremost. I want to start off the video by giving all the higher praise, honor, glory due to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakurakudash. And double honors to the elders, single honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us this word of truth, and with sincerity as always. Now, without any further ado, I just want to get into this lesson here and going into some scriptures here that I have about wisdom here, going into wisdom. And we can start off with this scripture here because this is wisdom here. And I love to start off with these two scriptures when speaking about wisdom. I love to start off with Proverbs 1. I start at 1. The point is in 7. It's the point I usually get. And the one I got last time. But this is Proverbs 1 and start at verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, kingdom of Israel. For gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young, and when you go into the word discretion, that's going into basically, I'll look it up because I forgot. I actually forgot what that means. Discretion. The quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. Being circumspect. The freedom to decide what should be done in a particular situation, a choice and option. Yeah. Discretion when you go into it. Now I remember it's also going into ultimately going into making the right and the wise decisions. It's having discretion. That's why it says take at your own discretion. It's where the saying comes from. Discretion. Knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and the riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Bashmashah is the beginning of knowledge. Yeah, and I gotta explain what is the fucking fear and knowledge of Yahweh Bashmashah, bro. What is it? Is that doing whatever you want? Is that doing whatever you want for whatever amount of money? Let's say Esau wants to give you 10 fucking bands, bro. 10 bands to fucking be a nigga and a niggard to your brother. Will you take that or will you not take that? If you were to want to take that and not even consider the sacrifice of Yahweh Bashim Shah, bro, the sacrifice which Yahweh Bashim Shah and the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shah, which he made, bro. If you were to take that and rebuke this discretion and knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Shah, bro, you are a fucking nigga, bro. You will not be a man of the Lord. You will be a straight up, factual, unintellectual nigga. Anyway, it's verse 7. Listen to this one here. Pay attention to this. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. The fools despise wisdom and instruction. But if you were to decide, hey, you can take that money, bro, and shove it the fuck up your ass, man. Because I ain't with that shit, bro. That would show that you have some form of wisdom and knowledge, fear of Yahweh about yourself. That's just one example out of many. And you got little things like just simply not eating pork. Simply not eating pork because I just found out that I'm an Israelite, bro, and that Christians was off by teaching me that, because I didn't know nothing, that eating pork was fine. So, but now that I know and I believe it, I'm not gonna eat pork. When I go to the Little Caesars, I'm not gonna buy the pepperoni pizza. I'm gonna buy a cheese pizza. When I go to this pizza shop, I'm gonna order me a cheese pizza. Whereas before, I would order me that shit with extra pepperoni, bro. But now that I know I'm an Israelite, I'm not gonna order no pepperoni pizza because that's pork. But con, man. Con, so let's go back to the scripture that I wanted to get as well in the same book. Proverbs 16, I'll start at 27 on down to try to get to 33. A scoundrel plots evil, and on their lips it is like a scorching fire. And on their lips is like a scorching fire, kind of. Yeah, a scoundrel. Let's look at what a scoundrel is. And unfortunately, many of our people today, 2/3 of our reprobate as people, rebellious children, rebellious coon niggas today of the nation, the 2/3 of the man of Israel, and the nigga woman, the shameless dogs, shameless hoes, whores of the nation of Israel. These are also called as bitches today. Don't carry themselves with discretion, discernment, prudence, righteous prudence. So a scoundrel here is
scoundrel.
It says a dishonest or unscrupulous. Look, I'm gonna look that up here.
Unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous, having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair. Yeah, and a lot of our people, they're not fair. They'd rather take and take and take and take than to give and give and just want to actually give. You want to give time to Yahweh Shah. You want to make as much time in your day when you awake and go about your day to give to Yahweh Shah. That's one example. And 2/3 of our people, they don't do that. They don't give their time and energy toward Yahweh Shah. And I'm not just talking about coming up to brothers and asking one question and then leaving off with nothing. Here you go. We give you the information. You get the information. We give you the names. We tell you who you are, and you leave, and then don't do anything with that information, bro. See, that's you actually got to change. The Yahweh Shai is going to require you to make a change in your life. If you're actually going to want to show him that you're sincere, that he's a power worthy to be praised, and you believe his message, the threats. The threats, when you come into this truth, you're going to hear threats, man. The Lord is threatening this bitch Babylon every day. The Lord is threatening this bitch Babylon America every day. He's threatening this bitch. He's saying that he's going to put his foot up this America's fucking ass, man. Hey, he's going to open a can of whoop ass on America's ass, man. Stone Cold Stunner this bitch and flip this bitch off, bro. And then afterwards have some beers. They like gonna like this gonna be throwing Yahweh Shai beers. halal beers, man. All right, lawful beers. Like Stone Cold, if you know the reference, man. If you know the reference to that. But yeah, man.
Unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous. It's in a good word there. Unscrupulous, meaning having or showing no moral principles. Having or showing no moral principles, and that's our people, man. Having no moral principles. Still want to eat pork. Still want to eat bones, pig bones and shit, and be niggas out here, man. They still want to be niggas out here. Okay, not finding a job and shit. Because they got fired from every fucking job. And just being niggas out here, man. Having to show no moral principles, not honest or fair. Unprincipled, unethical. Well, that's our people. Unprincipled. Let's look up what that means.
Unprincipled.
Of a person or their behavior not acting in accordance with moral principles. The public dislike unprincipled press behavior. Unethical.
Unethical.
Not morally correct, and that's our people for you, man. They're not morally correct. They're not morally correct. They ain't even morally correct enough to have a they ain't even morally correct enough to not be knocking all out as fuck in your door late at night and have a. That's just an example. I don't know. Just a random example, but I can think of better ones. But they're like a motherfucker that would knock late as hell at night on your door for something unnecessary. Or these niggas, Jake ain't morally correct enough to wash his mouth, so his fucking breath don't fucking have to be all stinking it. And you having to smell that nasty ass shit, man. That smells worse than my dried piss stains on my drawers, bro. Jake ain't morally correct enough to have that. That shit smelled worse than my dried piss stains on my boxers, bro. Yeah. Cause Jake has to have. Cause you Jakes out there, man. You gotta make sure your breath is on point, man. Don't be a man of the Lord and have your breath out here fucking stinking down there about to make a motherfucker vomit because you don't have your hygiene good enough, well enough for you, man. I have some self-care, some respect about yourself, hygiene, etiquette about yourself, man. This is Proverbs 16 and verse 28. A perverse person stirs up, so that's our people for you. There's those scoundrel plots. It's people who just don't wash their mouth. And on their lips it is like scorching fire, come on. That's their hot breath, man. That's scorching fire right there. 28. A perverse person stirs up conflict and I was literal right there. A perverse person is that fire breath. A perverse person stirs up conflict and the gossip separates close friends. Come on. A perverse person stirs up conflict and the gossip separates close friends. Come on. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and there's people out there who stir up conflict, and you don't want to be one of those, man. People who do that have demons on them, man. They just want to see some shit start. A lot of these people do witchcraft. A lot of Jakes participate in witchcraft, and they don't even realize it. Because they don't care. They don't care. Even if they were told about it, they still wouldn't care. They wouldn't even care just even more. So that's and people like that, they think that's something to boast about. That's something to be proud about. and they look at people that are humble and more kind and have moved themselves with some type of kindness as weak, and then they go up to them and piss around with them, fuck around with them, man, like the shit's all fucking right. The Lord has judgments for that. He has particular and specific, intricate judgments for those types of wicked actions, bro. Alright? Those who know are listening as well. The CIA, the FBI are listening, and they know what they do. It's 29. A violent person and of their sect counterparts. They're different sect, organizations, gangs, and groups know who they're who's speaking to them, and who's threatening them, and that's Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You don't do that to a man of the Lord. Period, bro. Lord's gonna fuck you up. This is Proverbs 16 and 29. Listen to this one. This is a good one here for you. A violent person entices their neighbor and leads them down a path that is not good. A violent person entices their neighbor, and that's what they do. That's what this group called gang stalking does. I'm looking into it a bit. I heard of shit that they would do, like send a woman to you to sleep with her. And yeah, man, it's the curses. It's the curses, man. This is something that Amalek started. This all goes back to Jesuit origins. That's Amalek. Amalek, that's some shit like that. Sounds like what Amalek would do. Because Amalek is a fucking coward. And we can get a scripture for that. Amalek is the nation that wouldn't use wisdom. Wisdom wasn't given unto them. So if you follow after the ways of Amalek, you show you lack wisdom. You're not. The Lord's gonna strip you of all your fucking wisdom. This is Deuteronomy 25 about Amalek killing the weak Israelites. That was all the way in the back. That was that's an action a coward to attack you from the back, where the army can't, the leaders can't see. The defenders of the army, the men of the nation can't see. That's what Esau did to the Israelites as they were leaving the wilderness. So this is Amalek 25, 17 to 18. This is verse 17, Deuteronomy 25, verse 17 to 18. Deuteronomy 25, verse 17. Remember what the Amalekites did to you along the way when you came out of Egypt. When you were weary and worn out, they met you on your journey and attacked all who were lagging behind. They had no fear of Yahweh. Yeah, and that's Amalek. Amalek has no fear of Yahweh. Once again, wisdom is the fear of the Lord. 19. When the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem saw your powers, gives you rest from all the enemies around you, and the land he is giving you to possess. This was when David came to the scene. As an inheritance, you shall blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. Yeah, Amalek is soon going to be forgotten. That's in other scriptures too, many other precepts too, how America is going to be forgotten. I actually